see me? Can you hear me? Are you there? There you are. No more telephone. Okay. So I'm going to go finish dressing and all of that, and I'll be back. Yalla. Bye. Great job. And that's going to help you with the advertising for the course. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you say something, Mulya? I can't hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye. ושלום לבנימין.
שלום, שלום.
שלום עליכם, נתראה עוד מעט.
בטח, בטח, בעזרת השם. יש תרגום לעברית?
כן, 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 בטח. בעזרת השם.
תודה.
להתראות.
נתראה. ביי.
ביי ביי.
אוקיי. טוב, אני עליתי, כתוב לי עליתם אביאלי, אבל אני לא מוגדרת.
אני שומע אותך, עמליה.
מה זה? מולי? אתה שומע אותי דרך הזו? איך אתה יכול לשמוע אותי דרך הזו? אבל אתה צריך להגדיר אותי. רגע, בסדר, תגדיר אותי, תכנס להיברו ותראה ששומעים אותי בסדר.
שאני לא שאלתי.
מולי, אתה שומע אותי?
אני שומע, רק שנייה, רק שנייה. אני שומע אותך מצוין, עמליה. כן, כן, כן.
Also, מולי,
אני אעשה רגע, רק שנייה, נעשה עוד רגע עוד בדיקה, רק שנייה. תדברי עכשיו.
מולי,
אני עכשיו לא שומע אותך, כי עשיתי אנגליש בכוונה. אני חוזר להיברו. עכשיו אני שומע אותך מצוין.
okay, מולי, how do I know how many people watch the video?
היי ג'נה, שלום.
How do I know how many people watch the video?
How do you know how many?
People watch the video.
I will tell you. Just a minute, okay?
Okay.
Just a minute, ג'נה.
פה בחשבון היו אזעקות והרבה אנשים במקלטים, אז יכול להיות שיצטרפו עוד, אם היא רוצה שיהיו עוד.
לא שמעתי, רות?
אני למשל באזור המרכז, היו אזעקות, אז הרבה אנשים רק מתחילים לצאת מהמקלטים.
כן.
אני המשוגעת
כן,
אולי
כן,
היחידה
כן.
שלא הולכת למקלט, אז זה בסדר.
כן.
מולי, תגיד לה שגם חלק נכנסו.
And are they mostly professionals? Muli, are the people mostly therapists?
What, ג'נה?
רוב האנשים תרפיסטים? מטפלים או לא?
I don't know. I don't know if most of the people will be therapists or not. I don't know.
אוקיי, מסתדר.
Yeah.
שאלה, עד מתי זה יימשך, ואם צריך כלי כתיבה או משהו?
מתי מה?
עד מתי, היי ג'ינה, שלום, עד מתי?
זה שעה וחצי.
שעה וחצי, תודה, וצריך כלי כתיבה, לכתוב משהו או?
לא צריך לכתוב, לא.
תודה רבה.
אם אתם רוצים לכתוב, אתם יכולים.
תודה.
אבל אין צורך.
זה 80, הוא לא 70, כי עכשיו...
עד מתי מתחילים? איפה נתנו?
עוד דקה.
יואב.
Hey. Hi, Gina.
Hi.
It's Joanna. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Baruch Hashem. Crazy, crazy פה. How are you?
אני שומעת, אני רואה את זה. אני מלמדת כל היום, כל יום וכל היום עם הארץ.
מדהימה.
את יודעת בדיוק מה קורה, כן, כן.
כן, כן. וואי, מדהים.
זה משבר את הלב.
מדהים. טוב, אז בהצלחה לערב.
אבל גמרתי קורס היום, וגמרתי
כן.
קורס שבוע שעברה, עוד קורס, וכל אחד אמר, ממש היה ממש נהדר שהם אוכלו לעשות את הקורס בתוך המלחמה, כשהיה מקום
מדהים.
בטוח ושל אהבה, שקיבלו את הכל בצורה לגמרי אחרת. עם כל הבלגן
באמת?
שהיה, הסתדרו, כן, כן.
תשני את השם
היה
שלי.
משהו מקסים, ממש.
טוב,
ממש.
מדהים.
היא הציעה שיטה. היא נקראת
מדהימה.
I said hi,
שיכירו אותה.
מולי אתה
להיזכר
פה?
מה זה.
מולי, do you want to do the
Emotions,
introduction?
אבל...
Yeah, Gina, a few minutes, okay? There are
Okay.
many that want to come in. Just a minute.
לא צריך. זו ג'ינה.
אז אני יכולה לדבר עם אנשים סתם ככה. שלום, שלום. חבל שיהיה באנגלית, כן? עם תרגום סימולטני בעברית. אולי אני אגיד פה, שם ופה כמה מילים בעברית, אוקיי? אבל זה יזרום הרבה יותר טוב באנגלית מעברית, אוקיי? בסדר. ואני לא בווידאו, שכחתי. שאני לא בווידאו. אוקיי. מולי, אני חושבת אם אתה רוצה, כן, אתה יכול להתחיל ואנשים יבואו. You all have to mute your video. Everybody go on mute, please.
Gina, just a minute, okay? Because there are many people that want to come in. Just a minute.
כן,
אוקיי.
אבל כולם שישנם כבר, בבקשה תעשו שתי דברים. את השם שלכם באנגלית, תכתבו אותו באנגלית, אוקיי? אם אתם רוצים לשאול שאלה, אני צריכה את השם שלכם באנגלית.
כל כך מהר זה נגמר.
ולשים את זה במיוט. לשים את הוידאו במיוט בבקשה כולם, אם לא יהיה רעש מכולם, מכל מקום. ועוד דבר, יש היד הצהובה, נכון? The gold hand, כן? כשאתם רוצים לשאול שאלות, בבקשה להרים את היד הצהובה, ואז אני אקח אתכם בסדר שאתם עליתם, בסדר? זה יהיה הרבה יותר מסודר.
ערב טוב לכולם, אני רוצה רגע לפתוח בכמה דברים בבקשה, ברשות ג'ינה וברשות המשתתפים החשובים. בערך 400 אנשים נרשמו לזום הזה, ולא בכדי. באמת זום מיוחד, ותודה רבה לג'ינה שהיא בעצמה הציעה אותו. תודה רבה לך ג'ינה. בזום עצמו יכולים להיות רק עד 100 איש. 300 הנותרים יצטרכו להיות ביוטיוב לייב. ולכן אני אומר שמי שרוצה לשאול שאלות חייב להיות בזום, אלא אם כן הוא מעביר דרכי שאלות. דבר שני, בזום יש אפשרות לשמוע תרגום בעברית של אמליה, ולכן מי שמעוניין לשמוע תרגום חייב להיות בזום ולא ביוטיוב לייב. אז גם האנשים של היוטיוב לייב עכשיו שומעים אותי, אז אני חוזר ואומר, כל מי שנמצא עכשיו ביוטיוב לייב ומבקש לשמוע את ג'ינה בעברית על ידי המתרגמת הסימולטנית, חייב לעבור לזום. כל מי שיכול לשמוע אותה באנגלית יכול להישאר ביוטיוב לייב. אוקיי? עכשיו, אני רק אומר, כדי לעבור לשמוע את התרגום, אני רוצה לעשות את זה ממש קצר, זה ממש ממש פשוט. יש למטה סרגל שכתוב עליו למטה מור. לוחצים על המור, יש interpretation. לוחצים על interpretation, לוחצים על איזה שפה מבקשים לשמוע את השידור. יש אפשרות באנגלית, יש אפשרות בעברית. זה הכל, מאוד פשוט. שוב, אני אומר, לוחצים על מור, לוחצים על interpretation, לוחצים על שפה שמבקשים לשמוע את השידור. אוקיי? אני ממש מבקש בזמן השידור להיות כולם על מיוט, כדי שלא יהיה הפרעה, כי יש לנו פה שוב מאות אנשים, ג'ינה מדי פעם תעשה עצירה לשאלות, ואפשר יהיה לשאול שאלות. מי שרוצה אפשר גם לכתוב בצ'אט, וברגע שיהיה הפסקה לשאלות, אני אקריא מהצ'אט את השאלות עבור ג'ינה.
מולי, מי הטק שלנו היום?
מי הקהל?
לא, מי הטק? The tech person. Who is the
רגע,
tech person?
אני לא שומע אותך, אמליה, שנייה.
היא שואלת מי התמיכה הטכנית.
Who is the tech person?
אני לא בטוח שצריך תמיכה טכנית.
לא צריך, מוכרח.
יש את המזכירה שלנו שנמצאת פה.
לא, תראה, כל האנשים למשל שלא סגרו, לא שמים את עצמם במיוט, אתם צריכים לשים אותם במיוט.
אני מבין, אני אעשה את זה.
אוקיי, אז תעשה עכשיו.
כן.
אפשר רגע לפני זה לשאול שאלה טכנית? האם תהיה מצגת פה?
לא תהיה מצגת.
מצוין.
נכון, ג'ינה?
עוד דבר, ג'ינה ביקשה שנכתוב את השם באנגלית, ואנחנו כבר נרשמנו עם המיצג שלנו בעברית. אז אי אפשר לשנות את זה עכשיו.
בזום שלכם אתם יכולים, בטח. מה זה מצגת? לא הבנתי, מה זה מצגת? אין מצגת, מה זאת אומרת? There's no recording?
לא.
בתמונה יש 3 נקודות, ולחוץ על זה ואז לעשות...
That there's no video, you don't have a PowerPoint or anything to show.
Oh, there's no sharing, yes. No slides, נכון. הרבה יותר קל.
טוב, אז אנחנו מתחילים, ג'ינה. תודה רבה לך.
איך מעבירים לעברית? שוב, בבקשה.
אני אומר שוב, לוחצים למטה, יש למטה בסרגל 3 נקודות, כתוב על זה more, נכנסים למור, יש שם interpretation. לוחצים על זה, ויש שם אפשרות להיברו או אנגליש, וכל אחד בוחר את השפה שהוא רוצה. בסדר?
אני לא רואה את זה.
אז אנחנו פה הגענו למקסימום ב-participants, יש פה 100 משתתפים, כל השאר יהיו רק ביוטיוב לייב, ומי שרוצה בבקשה להעביר שאלות מהיוטיוב לייב יכול להעביר דרכי. אני רוצה ממש לומר... שלום, תודה רבה לאמליה שמתרגמת. אני רק אפתח ואומר...
מולי, one second. I don't see the different pages, I only see one page. מה קורה פה? You really need a tech person there. I can't move to another page. I can only see 25 people, and I can see 100 people on my Zoom with the different pages.
I can do
So
you,
do the introduction.
I can make
and
you a co-host.
That's not okay. I don't know if that's going to, okay, try. I don't know if that's going to help. That's where you need a tech person always. You cannot do something without tech.
Okay.
Are you making me co-host? Did you make me co-host?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're my
No,
co-host
that
now.
did not resolve it. So why don't you introduce me and I start, and then you can talk with your tech people who can be there. בסדר?
אוקיי.
Okay.
טוב, אני
בסדר.
רק אומר שוב, אנחנו פה עכשיו 100, ומי שבבקשה רוצה לשאול שאלות רק בהפסקות או בצ'אט, או שאפשר לשאול דרכי. אנחנו עוד רגע נשמע, מי שמחובר על עברית, ישמע את העברית דרך אמליה, ואני רק רוצה לומר בכניסה של השידור המיוחד הזה, ג'נה העבירה דרך מרכז פנימה בירושלים 2 קורסים מאוד מאוד, עם פידבקים מאוד מאוד טובים, וממש זכינו לשמוע את ג'נה וליהנות ממנה. המפגש הזה היום הוא לקראת קורס נוסף שהולך להיפתח אחרי פסח. הקורס SE הוא קורס למטפלים, קורס שכל כך הוכיח את עצמו, ושיטה מוכחת מחקרית שעוזרת לטיפול בחרדות ובטראומה. יש ספר מיוחד לג'ינה רוס שאני מאוד ממליץ לקרוא אותו. זה הספר של ג'ינה, הספר הבסיסי והיסודי שלה, וכמובן שעל גבי זה ועוד הרבה יותר יש בקורס. אז כל מי שעוסק בטיפול בחרדות, בטראומה, דרך כל השיטות שיש, ורוצה ומעוניין להוסיף לארגז הכלים את הקורס של SE, אנחנו נשלח הזמנה לקורס אחרי המשדר. אוקיי, ג'ינה, we are with you.
Okay. So it's been a pleasure to be dealing with Pnima. I just want to tell you one nikuda. I met Muli in Gaza, on the border with Gaza, to pick up something from him. And he was super excited that he was passing on emotion aid to the soldiers that were under his case. And he was saying, like, it's amazing, such little interventions and what change it made. So that was one of the most exciting moments of my trip in December, is to know that there are people like Muli going around in Israel and spreading the capacity to actually self-regulate, which is really what it's all about. I'm going to, because I can't have all of you responding and know what's going on, I'm going to think that you all watch the video, okay? And then if you didn't watch it, go watch it right after. So the one thing I want to say, first of all, I'm calling it somatic emotion aid and even somatic emotion mastery, because really what we're learning is how much we can go up in the capacity of self-regulation with something as simple as this tool, as the video that you saw. So I'm going to also talk to you as if you are mostly therapists, which I'm guessing that you are because you came through Muli. But for those who are the public, it won't hurt you to hear that either, okay? But if I'm doing something like that for the public, I'll make it a little bit simpler. So what I'm giving you is some of the basic principles of theory that are behind what I showed you in Masay. If you're communicating with me, Amalia, communicate in English. בסדר? Everybody, if you're communicating in the chat, do it in English, please. Okay? Okay, so I want to present the very basic principles that really made the contribution of SE that are unique in the trauma field. So the first thing that it came up with, and this was more than 40, 50 years ago, that trauma is in the body. For centuries, people did not understand what was happening. They thought it was people that went crazy. And now we know that actually when a traumatic event happens, it impacts the autonomic nervous system of the person. It impacts the nervous system of the person. So now, not only that, not only is trauma in the body, but also it depends on which body it's coming in. So the same traumatic event with 10 different people can have 10 different reactions according to the state of their autonomic nervous system. If their nervous system is ragua, is on homeostasis, is complete, is healthy, or if there have been sickness or previous trauma that wasn't healed. So the most important thing about that is that we take away the stigma of the word trauma. It's not about something being wrong with the character of the person. It's not about whether we're strong or not, whether we have willpower or not. It has to do with the state of the autonomic nervous system. And when you say that to people, a big relief happens. It's not that there's something inherently wrong with them, but something attacked their nervous system and it's responding. So this is the first thing that I want to talk about, okay? Second fundamental thing that SE brought in is that there is an inherent capacity to heal that is inborn. We are born with this, what we call the healing vortex, which is the capacity to self-regulate. And I say this is Borei Olam that designed our nervous system in such a way that the branches of the autonomic nervous system, activation comes up and in the sympathetic, and the parasympathetic takes it down. We're born with that capacity. It's working all day long. There are all kinds of things happening that are stressful and traumatic even, and most people don't remain traumatized because that system is working. However, when, like what's happening right now, traumatic events are happening too much, too fast, too soon, one after the other, the capacity to digest of the nervous system is compromised. But you have to know and believe that there is an inherent capacity to heal in the system. And every person is born with it. If we're very traumatized, it's covered by a lot of layers of symptoms, but it's still there anyway. If we're normally traumatized, we can get there much faster. And if we take care of ourselves along the way, we can clean up our nervous system all the time. So what we're dealing with right now, and this is particularly pertinent and important for Israel at this moment of history, is that there is cumulative trauma, which means the traumatic events are like hitting one after the other, after the other, after the other. Alarms and attacks and missiles and threats and anti-Semitism and anti-Israel and everything that you want. All of this has a cumulative impact on the nervous system. And that is why it's so important that we clean our nervous system every day along the way. This is how we're going to avoid being traumatized by an incredibly traumatic situation. Okay? Another definition of trauma that's very important in SE is excess stuck energy in the body. I'm going to explain to you what kind of energy. An incompleted movement of defense. Yeah, somebody. Okay, Joanna, also if she can put yourself on mute. Dina, everybody check if you are on mute, put yourself on mute, please, okay? The other thing, another point I want to make, we call trauma in SE. Dina, put yourself on mute.
Okay, I'm trying.
You're trying, okay. And other people. Muli, you need to have your tech person there, please, honey. Okay?
סליחה שאני מפריעה. מולי, do you want me to help to give you tech help? I can do that if you want.
Yeah, okay.
So make
So make me co-host.
Look at everybody's video, and if they're not on mute, put them on mute.
Yeah,
and
of
when
course.
you're on, you can open them, okay? All right.
מולי, תהפוך אותי לקו-הוסט ואני אעזור לך.
Okay. תודה רבה. Okay. So we were talking about the excess energy stuck in the system and incompleted movements of defense, which makes the healing of trauma actually very simple. What do? Excess energy we release, we discharge. Incompleted movement of defense, we get to complete them. This is basically what trauma is all about, and that's what we're doing. Now, let me explain something about the energy and what does that mean, etc., and how the brain works. So there's something called the fist brain model. Yeah, there is influence of other traumas for sure, by Professor Daniel Siegel from UCLA. And if this is my brain and this is my Amud Shidra, if I open my hand, and the palm of my hand is the reptilian brain, Mocha Zochali, in charge of all the defensive responses. But now you're going to understand, more importantly, in charge of all the autonomic functions. Everything that works within me without my consciousness, like the temperature of my body, my sleep, my appetite, my digestion, the heartbeat, the pulse, the temperature of the body, all of those are working on their own, and they are contained in the reptilian brain. And we're going to see that when we get traumatized, and then what we call it's in the body, meaning that the nervous system gets dysregulated, then all these functions get dysregulated. And that's why you have your people telling you, I cannot sleep, I'm overeating, or I cannot eat, or my heart is beating fast, or I have tachycardia, I have anxiety, my breath is going crazy, right? All of these are in the autonomic brain. Then my thumb is the limbic brain, the emotional brain. And in the emotional brain, my nail here is actually the shape of the amygdala that registers all of the feelings. It's also in charge of motivation and creativity, okay? So this one is telling me what happened in terms of feelings, and if something that I can relate to it in the past or not. If it gets too activated, that's when we get in trouble, because something right next to it, called the hippocampus, shuts off. The hippocampus is the part of the brain that tells me when and where something happened. So now that message is not coming across, the amygdala is now thinking, oh my goodness, there is danger all the time. The danger becomes an inner message from the body. Why is that? Because something is happening with, okay, so let me finish first and then I'll tell you. And this is my neocortex, and that's my thinking brain. And normally it's in charge of the boat. It manages how I run my life and how I take decisions and how I reason and how I evaluate what's going on. So what happens when there is a traumatic event? In a healthy way, there's a traumatic event that happens. My neocortex tries to say, hey, stop, to the car, or somebody bumping into me. Hey, right? We're avoiding. We don't succeed. Then he gets out of the way and he says, okay, you are the instincts that were designed to take care of danger immediately, instinctively, spontaneously. At that point, there are stress hormones that are released in the body in order to give us the energy we need to fight or to flee. If we fight or flee successfully, the energy is used up and we're fine. We come back to homeostasis and the neocortex is running the boat again. Okay? Now, if the trauma happens, the traumatic event takes place, my body gets ready to fight or flee with all of the intensity of the stress hormones, a lot of adrenaline and cortisol in the body. And now I cannot defend myself. I cannot flee and I cannot fight. Then automatically my body is going to go into a third instinctive healthy response, which is the freeze. And the freeze is actually not a bad thing when it's temporary, because it avoids me from going insane and I can play dead and avoid the danger for a while. But then all that energy is there. And when I come out of the freeze, I discharge the energy and I go back into homeostasis and everything is fine. But I cannot now, the freeze, I didn't discharge it for whatever reason. So what's going to happen? That stuck energy now, the freeze becomes the source of trauma because the stuck energy remains in the body, that energy that was delivered that I needed, that was so powerful, is not used up. Now it remains in the body and it becomes symptoms. The good thing about it is that we look at symptoms as something that is not an illness, but a way to enter the system in order to heal it, in order to get access to the excess energy and release it. Okay, so far so good. Any questions about that? We okay? All right.
לי יש שאלות, היו כמה קטעים שלא תרגמו, בגלל זה לא הבנתי את הרצף.
אני גם אשמח אם אפשר לחזור על החלק האחרון של השלושת האפים.
זה טיפה מהר מדי.
את הקיפאון, אוקיי, נדבר על הקיפאון, כן? הקיפאון זה הסיבה בשביל הטראומה. קיפאון שמשתחרר בעצמו הוא לא בעיה. דווקא נכנס במקום הנכון, מתי שאנחנו צריכים אותו והכל בסדר. אבל אם אנחנו...
לא שמענו כלום, סליחה, לא שמענו כלום.
אבל אתם עכשיו שומעים.
לא, כי מישהי קודם התערבה ונתנה עוד עניינים.
אבל אני מסבירה עכשיו, מותק.
אז לא שמעתי חלק מההסבר, כי פשוט לא שמענו. אבל
מאיזה מקום לא שמעתם?
אני לא יודעת, כי פשוט כל הרצף נקטע והיו...
תשמעי עכשיו ותראי מה קורה, אם את מבינה או לא, אוקיי? הנקודה הכי חשובה זה מה שאני אומרת עכשיו, אוקיי? כשאנחנו עונים לסכנה, יש הורמוני לחץ שמשתחררים בגוף, ונותנים לנו אנרגיה לברוח או ללחם, כן? אם אנחנו עושים את זה, אז אנרגיה אנחנו משתמשים בה. מה? זה לא תרגום, זה אני, אתם שומעים אותי?
אבל עכשיו היא מדברת בעברית. איזה תרגום?
ג'ינה, שומעים אותך מצוין, ג'ינה.
אוקיי, אם אתם שומעים אותי, אני עכשיו מתרגמת את עצמי, בסדר? רק לכמה דקות. ועכשיו אחרי זה עמליה תיכנס, אוקיי? אז מה רציתי להגיד עוד פעם? זה על הקיפאון. הקיפאון שמשתחרר...
אתם כל הפעם מפריעים לנו לשמוע, אז תפסיקו להתערב.
מה?
את פשוט עם התרגום, את צריכה להפסיק את התרגום עכשיו. זה את צריכה לעשות.
ג'ינה מדברת בעברית, וכל פעם נכנס מישהו ומפריע לנו לשמוע.
מי זה
אז
מישהו?
בבקשה תנו לג'ינה לדבר.
מי זה מישהו שנכנס? אין אף אחד. אוקיי, אבל תשמעי עכשיו, אוקיי? We're talking now. Yeah? אז עוד כמה משפטים בעברית ונחזור לאנגלית ולתרגום. בסדר, עמליה? לא בסדר? מה קורה? מה קורה? אל תעשי רק את זה, מה קורה? תכתבי בצ'אט בבקשה. אני לא שומעת אותך.
Gina, you can speak. Gina, you can speak, okay?
I can speak in what language?
לא, שומעים אותה. שומעים אותה טוב.
מה
אני
היא
מדבר
אומרת?
איתך בהיברו, אני אומר שוב.
מולי, מה היא אומרת? מה עמליה אומרת? אני לא שומעת אותך, עמליה. מולי, אתה שומע את עמליה או לא? אז מה היא אומרת?
עמליה צריכה להזיז את ההשתקה ואז אפשר לדבר. היא מושתקת.
מולי. מה היא אמרה?
מבקשת שמר מולי יטלפן אליה.
אבל עמליה שומעים את ג'ינה מצוין, אני רוצה שישמעו את ג'ינה. שומעים אותה מצוין.
לא, אבל רגע, מה עמליה אומרת? מולי, מה עמליה אומרת? מולי, מה עמליה אמרה? אתה יכול להגיד לי?
לפי מה שניסיתי להבין כשקראתי את השפתיים שלה, הבנתי שהיא לא מושתקת, אבל לא שומעים אותה משום מה. לא?
So if you go back into the translation, can you hear her? עמליה, תשמעי, רגע, לא שומעים אותך, לא מבינים אותך.
שמו אותך על השתק, זה מה שאת אומרת?
ניתקו אותה מהצ'אט, ניתקו אותה מהצ'אט.
תכתבי בצ'אט, בבקשה.
She is out of the chat.
I know, she has to get back to the chat so that we can communicate.
So she says that she can't because she doesn't have any chat here. She can't write whatever she wants to.
Okay. So are you hearing her? Who is speaking right now?
Noah.
I can't hear Amalia. I can hear you and Muli.
Yeah, Gina, we can hear you good. Gina, we can hear you good.
I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. רגע. Noah.
Nobody can hear Amalia.
Nobody can hear Amalia?
No.
כי בהגדרה אפשר לשמוע לאחת מכם.
I can hear Amalia.
Okay, so
I
go.
can hear Amalia because I am.
Because maybe she is the translator, so
you have to go back.
You
have to go back into the translation. Everybody go back into the translation. Okay? The people that don't understand English, go back into the translation. Write me, Amalia. Write me on the phone. Yeah.
Gina.
Oh, you cut her off from the chat.
I hear Amalia. And she says that she was disconnected from the chat by the tech man. I don't know who it is. She is disconnected from the chat, so she can't write you anything. She can't read anything. She is totally disconnected and she...
So right now I'm asking this. Muli, hopefully the people that were in the Hebrew, can you hear Amalia?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Amalia, I'm going to continue in English. Can you hear me? Okay. And you keep translating. It's fine. So we'll go back to the translation. Okay. So I'm going to repeat what I said about the freeze because that's the most important part. All right. The freeze, we go into it when we cannot fight or flee. Muli, could you please call Slil and see if she can get you one of our tech people?
Yeah.
We cannot have a training without tech.
Okay, Gina, if you can continue what you started before.
I'm continuing. I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, so if I discharge the freeze after I'm in the freeze, hakol beseder, no problem. I don't have to be traumatized. But if I don't discharge the freeze, and there are different reasons not to, if I was in previous trauma, or I'm going to lose control, I'm afraid of feeling the fear or the terror again, whatever reason, then that becomes the source of trauma. Because that energy from the stress hormones is now stuck in the body and becomes symptoms. The good thing in SE is that we look at symptoms as a way to enter the stuck energy and release it. Instead of thinking, oy vey, terrible, terrible, like, oh, that's how I enter the system, okay? Now, how does this whole thing work? The language of the reptilian brain, which is where the trauma is happening, is the language of inner sensations in the body. What is inner sensation in the body? Gula bagaron, kivutz b'chazeh, parparim b'beten, kivutz in the neck. Sorry, I can't forget how to say neck. בצוואר, כן, בצוואר, כן. בכתפיים, קיבוץ בכתפיים, קיבוץ פה גם כן, או בלסתות, okay? That's what I mean by inner sensations. So I'm going to speak the language of inner sensations, which is the language of the part of the brain where the trauma gets stuck. Okay? Now, we use something called the felt sense, and I would like all of you right now to do what I'm asking you. Notice your feet on the ground and how you're sitting in the chair. Notice how your clothes feel on your skin for a moment. And notice if you're sitting comfortably or not. And if you're not, just move enough so that you can be comfortable. Okay, go ahead. How do you know if you're comfortable or not? And what part of your psyche knows that? Okay, so just take one more moment. How do you know? I'm not going to take the time to ask you because we're out of time. I want to catch up. The sensation in my body, if it feels tight or comfortable, or it's pricky, or it's yesh kivutz, that's what's letting me know if I feel comfortable or not. And what part of the brain that's letting me know that is the part of the neocortex that has to do with awareness. And the awareness that we're talking about is a neutral awareness, like an archaeologist. It's curious, it's non-judgmental, non-critical, and even non-analytical. Nothing, just pure witnessing and observation. Okay? And what's going to happen is something extraordinary. And that's the biggest gift of today and of emotion aid, is the body, the healer. And what do I mean by that? I have now all of these sensations that come up, okay? And I'm going to take one sensation at a time, because if not, there's an overwhelm. And all I'm going to do is focus that kind of awareness we talked about. Curious, non-analytical, not judgmental. Just notice the sensation and see what happens next. And what you also in the video, there is a discharge. And there were 7 signs of discharge in the video. The breath, the yawning, trembling and shaking, heat wave, warm sweat, gurgling of the stomach, and smarmoret. And one of those comes up, and that sensation of kivutz disappears. takes care of that stuck energy contained in that. Who does that? הגוף המרפא. The body, the healer. So we have an intrinsic capacity to heal through the body. It's very organic and it's happening by itself. And the shift that you have to do when you're working with SE or with emotion aid is that it's not you that's doing the healing. You are facilitating the body of the client to do the healing. You're just setting up the conditions for that. And we can do that to ourselves. However, if I have a deep trauma, emotion aid is not going to help me. I need somebody else's energy because I'm not aware of the white holes. However, if I learn to track the first sign of activation that I feel anytime that something is happening around me, and I stop and I track my body and I notice the sensation and I choose one at a time, I focus on it and it gets discharged, I am avoiding cumulative trauma. I'm avoiding going into the trauma vortex. Is that clear? This is the nekuda. This is the main concept of SE and somatic emotion aid. The mere observation of one sensation at a time will allow the body to come in and help discharge that excess stuck energy in the body. Is there any question about that? Okay, so we talked about one at a time. Now, why is this working? What do you think?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I will take in a second. Let me just finish that sentence, okay? What is that based on? On the concept of polarity, kotviyut. Everything comes with its opposite. Everything. What does that mean? Feminine, masculine. High and low. Fat and skinny. Day and night. Light and dark. Everything comes with its opposite. The opposite, the kotviyut that we are based on in SE, is kivus ve'itchachavut, contraction and expansion. If I focus on something contracted, by definition, it will open up. By definition, it opens up into expansion. Okay? Now you can ask me the questions.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, yes.
I want to say that I want to share an experience. Last night I felt very irritable.
Can you do me a favor, put your hand and come on video?
I'm driving actually, so it's gonna be a little hard. I'm very sorry.
Okay. That's okay. You can put the video. You don't have to look at me. I'll look at you. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I felt very irritable while going to sleep, and I tried to concentrate about that, and I actually did what you just advised. I tried to give my awareness to the feeling, and the only thing it made me feel is be focused on the irritability. So it feels counterintuitive what you're saying, because in my experience, it did the opposite.
Yeah. So the thing about it, you're right that it's first going to. Who is speaking, please? Somebody is speaking and you're not on mute. Okay? So, no, it won't change the others. So what happens when you first focus on something, it gets more intense. It can get more intense. Okay? So you have to stay with it. And then you can do what I'm going to show you, the tapping after that. There are other things that you can do. So it's true that it gets more intense, but after a moment it passes. And I'll show you also why it doesn't pass if it doesn't pass. We'll talk about that too. But that's where the art of focusing on the absolute first sign of activation is going to help. Because let's say if you spend now a whole day being activated and upset and there's all kind of things happening, it's not chick-chack. It's not going to happen chick-chack. That's correct. Okay? So it depends on what else is going on. That's for one. But let me continue because this is very important. There is what we call, imagine an infinite sign, okay? On infinite sign, you have the, I'll ask you also, the person that just spoke, if you grounded yourself or not, but let's finish everything before we come back to you. The infinite sign has two areas, right? On one area, there's going to be the trauma vortex, and on one area is the healing vortex. This is called mitutelet, a pendulation, that there is a natural way that the body goes through those two different things. Okay? In the trauma vortex, I'm going to put a symptom, and in the healing vortex, a resource. And all I have to do is just with my finger, go back and forth between the two. But I can also do it in my mind, just noticing, just focusing on the sensation brings the pendulation by itself. It makes it happen by itself. So for those of you who have kids or work with kids, you take a big piece of paper, you design, you draw the infinite sign, and you have them draw all the bad things in the trauma vortex, bad colors, ugly colors, or a drawing or words. And then you have them put their resources, the good things in their lives, in the healing vortex. And you just have them either do that with their fingers, or if you do a big one on the floor, they can just walk it around. And that starts calming them down. So what's really happening and what else are we using? And that's what I want you to add before I answer Abhishek a little bit more completely, okay? There is another thing that we talked about, the sensation. If I go inside and I notice what's happening and I have my heart beating fast and I have a gula bagaron, and let's say I have also a thought. I know what to do with the sensation, but what do I do with the thought? So as you remember from the video, so go again over it, you take the thought into the body. When I have that thought, what do I notice in my body? What happens when I have a feeling? When I have a feeling, what happens in my body, right? I'm taking if I have a behavior, a movement, what happens in my body? If I hear something, my five senses, I smell or see or hear something that's not good or good, what do I notice in my body? I take everything back into sensation because it's the focusing on sensation that's going to help me release the excess energy of that sensation, okay? All right. A few more things before we answer Abhishek. You saw in the very beginning of the video that you had something called the grounding exercises. So there was a butterfly hug that comes from EMDR. You can also do it just tapping on your legs, okay? You have the one that you put your hand on your chest and one on your stomach, and you just track your breath. Notice your breath in and out. That also calms down. And you have the counting, which is very good. You feel your feet on the ground, you look around and you count 10 different colors, 10 different textures, how many lamps are in the ceiling, how many squares are in the room, anything that allows you to count. Now you're using your neocortex, which gets you off the felt sense immediately, where you're feeling the trauma. Okay, so that part. So if you're very activated and it's not going to work that you go into the sensation because it's too much, you first ground yourself and then you go into the body. So Abhishek, you may want to try that. So I want to show you another grounding technique that's very wonderful. I'm using it a lot. And it's lovely for women and for kids too. And the organization that brought it gifted to us during the war, in the beginning of the war in 2023. It's called Havening, and all of you please do it with me, okay? So you put your hands on your shoulders and you gently go down until your elbows. And you're just caressing, you're just holding, you're just doing this to your arms. And you're really feeling the touch. 5 times. Okay, and then during that time, you're tracking your breath. And then you do that from the inside of your eyes to the temple, 5 times. And you see, I already start discharging. And then from the inside out. I would advise that you do it so that you can see how it works when you're going to help people with it. And then what you're going to do is this. Just gently, a gentle dance. If you're doing that with a kid, you have them put putty in their hand and make a ball with this, with that movement, okay? Yeah. Real nice, lovely dance of the hands. Okay, and just take a moment right now and notice how you feel. And if you want to write in the chat, you can do it for a moment. Calmer, yes. Who else? Calmer too. Relaxed, yes. And we're more present, yes. It brings us in very quickly, and it's very lovely because there's a sense of lovingness, of loving oneself too. And with your client, you can do it. With your kids, you can do it at the same time. Yeah. And that would be lovely. Okay. Now, you're activated. Something is very upsetting. First thing you do, you ground yourself. Any one of the groundings, go over them again when you open the video again. Choose which one you like. Add the havening, and then you can do that. Then you go into the body, and then you can discharge the sensation. But there's another trick. I'm going to give it to you. It's a secret that comes only in beginning too. Okay? And if a sensation doesn't go away, I just try to ask it, what is it about? What does it want to say to me? If it doesn't go away, it has a message. So I listen to the message and then it will go away. So that's what happens, the things that you can encounter along the way. One more thing that's in the video is the resources. Thank goodness everybody now understands about resources. Everybody has caught up. What's different in SE is that you ground a resource in the body. What does that mean? All of you think about a resource. Resource can be external or internal. External means everything from the outside. Internal, my own qualities, my own abilities, yeah? So think about a resource for a moment. Choose one. Okay? And as you think about it, what do you notice in your body? What happens in your body? Okay? Every time you do that, or the discharge sign are already in the video. You can get them from the video too. I'll say them later. Let's not unfocused where we are right now. So every time I take a resource and I ground it in my body, do you know what I'm doing? I'm strengthening my ability to heal, my healing vortex. So here is the good part about that, okay? I'm going to make a list of 15 resources, internal and external, okay? I'm going to start understanding how many resources I have, and that's very good already. Now, let's say I wake up and I'm not feeling so great. It's a bummer day. Hannah, if you can, turn off. Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick a resource from my list and I'm going to ground it in my body, and another resource and ground it in my body. And what's happening? I shifted my attention from what's not working for me to something that is working. And that's an immediate way of changing the hormones in my body from adrenaline and cortisol to oxytocin and serotonin. Ala makom. And so for yourself and all the people that you're helping with emotion aid, you teach them to do that. You teach them to use that resource in this way. And I want to also make sure that the resource doesn't cost me. It's not bad for me. Nothing about it is bad for me. So if I smoke and I get calmer, that's not a resource because it has a cost. Okay? No, you don't yawn to produce release. You don't shake to produce release. Very good question. It's all very involuntary. The body does the job on its own. Okay? That's very important. Let me tell you about something fantastic about the breath. You know how people panic because they don't have breath? Yeah? Do you remember that, the people around you? Okay. So when my breath is too short, or is missing, or is too fast, okay, all I have to do is not take another breath. Just notice that my breath is too short or too fast. That's all. And the polarity will come up by itself. The deep, diaphragmatic, involuntary breath comes by itself. And I call it the reptilian breath. Very different and much better than taking a breath on purpose, because then I can hyperventilate also. Okay? Remember something. Remember. The biggest discovery of the last century, in my view, in the field of therapy, is discovering the neuroplasticity of the brain, that the brain was plastic, which meant that we had billions of neurons that were not developed, and all we had to do is use some of them to create new experiences that took over from the bad experiences. But guys, the most amazing thing is that if you have a new experience only in the imagination, it's enough. This is extraordinary. And in an SE training, you learn how to use corrective experiences and all of that stuff, okay? You're trying to understand why attention creates release. I am calling it magic, and I'm calling it a gift from God. It's Haguf HaMerape, and I also call the body the washing machine. You put a negative thought, turning into sensation, it washes it out. A negative feeling, turning into sensation, washes it out. Negative sensation, it washes it out. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. Just know that that's the gift that we received. Our nervous system is designed to do that. It does it on its own. It doesn't need your attention. But when your ability to heal, that happens by itself, is compromised because too much, too fast, can't digest anymore, right? there's no space anymore, then just doing that is allowing that mechanism that exists already as we are born starts working again. Okay? וזה ממש את המתנה שקיבלנו. What did Peter Levine did? He didn't create SE. He discovered and named and turned it into a very nice secular language that we can use what Borei Olam gave us already in the nervous system by creating a nervous system that has a sympathetic and a parasympathetic that work in a complementary way on a regular basis, on an ongoing basis, on an unconscious basis. Emotion NSE simply makes conscious when the unconscious is not working by itself to be able to work it again. להשיג, מה זה? הספר? הספר של ג'ינה, okay. Muli will send you, there's another thing I want to send you, I want to give it to you guys. Muli will send you where to get it. You can get it at Semaski, but they don't always have it, and you can get it through us, and we'll give you the reference.
אי אפשר להשיג את זה בסטימצקי, אני
כן,
ניסיתי.
כן, אנחנו רצינו לשים אותו עוד פעם, אבל באמת לא הספקנו. עם כל הדבר של המלחמה, לא מספיקים לשום דבר, כי עכשיו את הקורסים שלנו פעמיים, we doubled the courses, and it's a lot, okay? But we will have it, but we'll give you the address that you can get in touch with, okay? But there's another gift that Muli is going to send you, and this is so important, guys, so important. I'm just thinking about you. The Power Nap. It's an audio MP3. I thought I created, but it was created by somebody else also, so it doesn't matter where it comes from. It allows you to tighten your body and relax it. And then it allows you to stay relaxed for 5 or 10 minutes if you want to. Which what it does, it allows your body to go to homeostasis. Which right now is the most important thing to do. Because your body doesn't know that anymore. Because it's going from one thing to the other. The power nap, I even tell my students to do it in between azakots. If you can't sleep, just do the power nap. Okay? Very crucial. I want to find a way, if anybody can help me, to put it on TV for the whole country, because everybody needs it desperately right now. And so you have my permission to distribute it everywhere. Okay? This is very important. But more than that, start using it on a daily basis for yourself. And then I'm creating something else that will send eventually to the public also, which is a sleep protocol, how to fall asleep, because so many people, especially our soldiers, are having a hard time. Okay? Any questions? Can you translate that? Try to write in English. Akshara, מה זה? יפתח? אחרי פסח, yeah. There is one in April, and then there is one also with Muli. We have 2 new courses coming up. מה זה? What's that? Well, can somebody read for me those?
Yeah. Yes, she's asking what is power nap?
So power nap is that's what I explained. It's an exercise that I give you to do that Muli is going to send to the whole list that signed up, that I created, that if you listen to it and you follow it, will allow your nervous system to really know what it means to rest, to go back to basis. You will speak on what is CPTSD, what is that? Okay, you know what we can do? We will send you also the list of resources, okay? So that you can think about that. What is CPSD? What is that? Oh, complex trauma. Yeah, that's not going to happen in emotion aid. You can't do complex trauma with emotion aid. Right now, what you want to do, exactly, this is very needed right now. What you want to do is spread emotion aid around you, somatic emotion aid, everywhere that you can. Use it for yourself. Let me tell you a story before we go into a demo. Somebody from Neve Daniel in the Gush asked me in December to come and do no, it wasn't in December. It was before that. Asked me during just before the first Iran war to go and speak with the mothers and the wives of the people that were in the Miluim. And I went and I did exactly this. An hour and a half presentation, Vegamarnu, and they watched the video and I left. She writes me right after, a week after that, there was the war in Iran. She goes into the mamad. She takes her little grandchild, 2 years old, which I have seen. It's really shovav, ras b'kol makom. And the mother refuses to go in the mamad because she's busy. And my friend that I taught goes really crazy. She's very calm, a wonderfully stable person. And she tells me, I went nuts. I just wanted to tear my hair out. I couldn't believe she did that to me. And then she says, oh, but wait a second. I just had the course with Gina. So she does 2 grounding and 2 pendulations, completely calms herself down. And when they go out, she sits her daughter tranquilly and she says to her, you can't do that again next time. This was very hard, without getting into the explosion and all of that stuff. And then she tells me that the people around the Gush were sending the information to each other and they were using it. So that's what we want. We need to spread it into the population. Okay? And I have Joanna Schreiber there that's sitting knowing that that's what she wants to do also. Okay, now what I need is somebody who would like to do a small demo with me. So if you're activated or something, I can just show you how it works. Yafa, yes? Okay, and what is it that's going on?
Gina, I just want to say I was in Neve Daniel with Abigail.
Oh, so you
I
were there?
organized it with her, yeah.
So that's good, so you know exactly who I'm talking about. So what was the question right now in the chat? What was the question? And you know, okay, everyone, yeah, most people can fit for SE. Okay, so Yafa, if you can stay on, and the others, if you can just close your video so that we can see only Yafa and me, okay? Okay, so we need Moti to go out, Shlomit to go out, Chagit to go out, and Yona to go out. Yeah? Chagit, turn your video off, please. And Shlomit, turn your video off. Okay, Shlomit.
Mine is off.
Okay, and Yafa, I'm going to ask you if it's possible to take off your glasses. Would you be able to do that? And can you get a bit closer so there isn't that much space? And you have to get yourself off mute. Okay. Do you need to see?
I said I'm a little blurry, but
Yeah, do you need to see me? Are you okay?
if I don't need to see you, you tell me. If I need to see you, I'll put whatever you think I should do.
Yeah, if you need to see me at some point, just put them on, okay? But I need to be able to see your eyes, to see your face. And there's blur with the mishkafayim.
Now you're blurry, but I'm okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But take your time to adjust your eyes.
Okay. Mamash kasheli. It's hard.
Okay, so put them on. Put them on.
Okay. Okay. Seder.
You should be able to see Yafa. There's no reason not to see her. Whoever is not, okay? All right. Okay, I can see. That's less trouble for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm blinking less. I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. So right now, if you go inside, what do you notice is happening with you? Or you can tell me what's going on, period.
My heart is pounding when I volunteered. And it's the same
Oh.
feeling. It's the same feeling I get with the hatra'ah. There's this sound that we get before the azaka, before the sirens. That is this wild sound. And it wakes you out of a deep sleep, or it's just that first boom. I'd like to take that down a notch.
Yeah, that brusque, brutal sound, right? To make sure that everybody wakes up. Yeah. Okay, so right now, what do you notice? That your heart is beating fast?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So if you can, and if that sensation could speak, what would it say right now? What is it beating for? Because you came for the demo, or what?
No, pachat. No, it's the same feeling. It stems
Really
from. It's stuck from the siren before.
Okay, that just happened just a little while ago. Nachon.
And this entire time, like every time it happens, it would be nice to, lower that notch.
Okay. So just notice it, notice the heartbeat, and see what happens next. And again, for this to happen, for the body, the healer, to do his job, you have to just be curious and not be chitching about it, not to have thoughts, oh, that doesn't work. Am I doing
I want
good?
to slow
Am I
it
doing
down.
bad? If you occupy your neocortex, it doesn't work, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so just notice that and see what happens. And take your time. And as you know already, because you have the second time you hear all of this, the discharge could be a breath that comes by itself, or a yawning, or trembling or shaking, or heat wave, or warm sweat, gurgling of the stomach, or goosebumps.
I noticed my heart rate is lower. I just noticed.
It went down a little bit?
A lot.
I
just noticed it without any.
Right. You don't need to do anything. Exactly. That's all you need to do. And is it completely gone, or is it still there? Some of it.
So small.
So small, but a little bit there. So notice that it's so small, most of it is gone, and give it a little bit more time. And notice the breath that just came in. And what do you notice right now?
Sense of calm.
A sense of calm. And where do you feel it?
Here.
In here. And what's the sensation like? Like opening, like calm? What is it?
Numb.
Numb or neutral?
Okay, neutral.
Yeah, because numb is like it wants to feel, but it's not feeling. Yeah.
No, I don't want to feel it. No, neutral. Neutral sounds right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
more
calm,
precise.
it's tranquil. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
As you think about the Asakot and all of that's happening right now, are there any other thoughts or images that come up to you?
I'm thinking about my sister who lives in Jerusalem, who has to run every time she hears the warning.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about that, when you have that thought, what do you notice?
It's coming back.
Yeah, the heartbeat. And you also notice, like you put your hand on your chest, something else, or just the
Yeah.
heart? What?
Yeah, no, that's where it hits.
It's the heartbeat, yeah?
No, but it physically, right, that's where I felt it, but it wasn't
So it's the
necessarily.
heartbeat or the chest? Which
I
one is it?
never,
I'm sorry? Okay, just notice, yeah.
yeah,
Which one is it?
the heartbeat.
The heartbeat, okay.
The
So
heart
go
rate.
there again and see what happens next. What do you notice now?
Again, it's lower, but there's there's a point. There's
It's
still a
lower.
point.
So again, the same thing. We want it to be totally gone, so we just notice that it's better and we give it more time. And you're laughing. What are you laughing about?
It's judgment.
And
It's
what
the
was
voice in the head, the judgment.
So what was the judgment? It's good that you're noticing that. What was the judgment?
I know that it's you and I in this picture, but I feel more around me. So
what's
I
the
just had a
judgment?
moment.
So
What?
what was the judgment?
Why is this taking so long, Gina? But it's not really. It's not taking
Except
long.
it's
I
not
feel like
taking long at all.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's
So
not.
yeah,
It's just
but
that
this is
I
very important what you just said. It's very important because the body has its own rhythm and the
like you
body
said that.
knows what it needs. And that so long you're talking about was an extra 5 seconds. But that's what it needs. It
Right.
looks like an eternity because we never give it. So take the time. And with lovingness, give your body the time it needs. And what you notice?
Warmth.
Warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is the heartbeat gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regulated, neutral.
Yeah. But you seem to have some thoughts about all of this.
No, I feel warm. I felt like this, like heat.
Heat. And that's a discharge.
Oh. Nice.
And think about some other stuff. And that's the last thing we're going to look into. Anything else that comes to your mind that worries you or that upsets you or
You want me to think about something that upsets me?
no. No, I said think about the same way that you thought about your sister.
Right.
If there's anything else that worries you, so that I can help you with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My son-in-law is going into Lebanon tonight.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. And as you have that thought, yeah.
Okay.
What comes up? What do you notice? Yeah. You notice the breath.
What do I notice in my body?
Yeah. In your body, in your thoughts, in everything.
I don't. I didn't give myself time to think about it because I just found out today. So I used to think that everything went to my stomach, but I guess it still goes to my heart and my chest. It's like a tightening in my chest. Now it's not a heartbeat. It's like
the tightening in the chest. Yes.
pressure in my chest.
So notice the pressure in your chest and notice the breath and see what happens next. And what do you notice?
That same warm feeling.
That same warm feeling that comes
There's something that wants to, like, I want to yawn, but it's not. There's something that's in my breath.
Okay, but so is there still some pressure in your chest? There's the warmth right now. Does that mean it's less pressure or is that totally gone or what's happening?
Came up here. Like shifts.
Yeah. Shifts in what way?
I guess my brain started thinking about it.
Yeah.
I didn't really process that the whole.
What's the thought? What's the thought? Notice the breath.
Okay. Relaxed. Relaxed. Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like it doesn't allow me to think about it.
Or it takes care of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there seems that there's a thought that's coming up.
No, I'm just not. I guess I'm avoiding the thought. I'm feeling good in my body. I'm not thinking about the thought. I assume every time you're saying that every time I'm going to have a thought, I'm a person whose body reacts. So I know that my body reacts. So I do tapping. I do things like that. Noticing is not something I do so well.
You're doing it very well right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I need to notice more what's in and stay with it instead of fight it. I'm a fighter.
Exactly. Notice it and give it the chance. Remember what I call
to repair. I don't usually give it time. I'm busy.
Yeah. Right.
Come on. And really that was nice. That was nice to sit with it. That's something new for me, even with everything.
Just remember that there is the washing machine. That's what your body is. Okay. Thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have everybody back. And we have a few minutes for questions if you need anything. Or statements or whatever you want.
I wanted to ask if there is another stage between the grounding and starting to notice the feelings.
No, that's enough.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if you think that you can go into the body, you don't need to do the grounding. But if you feel that you're very activated and going into the body is not enough, you do the grounding and then you go. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good way. Yes,
I would
Shai?
ask some
Shai?
question.
Yeah. Shai?
Yes, thank you. I did it along this exercise to myself, and I found out immediately that a very weak spot in my body got the reaction.
Say
So
that again. You found out that what?
the weakest area in my body that I have pain, which is in the large intestine, immediately when I paid attention, it became bigger, the pain, or pop up.
And that's what's going to happen in the beginning. That's what I said before. Not always, but often, just when you're paying more attention, you're going to feel it more.
So when
and then if you stay with it, it goes down. The body will do the healing. But people get like, oh my God, it's feeling worse, so I need to get out of it, you know?
Yeah.
But that's not what you need to do. I would say also, for example, if you're noticing a sensation, you're having a hard time at the same time, tap at the same time that you notice it. Combine the two things if you need. Not so much in the shoulders, but in the legs, alternatively. That would be the extra help in case you get stuck.
And how long do you expect it to make the shift from?
About a half a minute, generally. It's very, very fast, but for the nervous system that doesn't stop, it's very long.
Yeah.
It's both at the same time. Somebody posted something twice because they really want me to talk about it. Is that yes, you have to reconnect with your natural inborn ability. Absolutely. It's once you know, it becomes very organic and you say, how could I have lived without it? Absolutely. Okay. The difference between that and focusing doesn't focus on the sensation in the body to discharge. It focuses on the thoughts, on the feelings mostly. And if it's on the sensations, it's not inviting the discharge by itself. But by now, everybody's going to do it. Liat?
Thank you. When you do grounding, it's also doing the discharging?
No.
Grounding is not.
No, it's not discharging. It's calming you enough to go into the discharge.
Okay.
To discharge, you know why? It's a very good question. It's very smart. Why is that? Because the symptom in the body is actually the manifestation of the stuck energy. So when you're just calming the system, you're not actually focusing on discharging that particular activation. Yeah, Dina?
Can you explain more about the tapping? When it doesn't. For example, for me, the tension in my chest, I was paying attention, but it's still there. What is
Then you
the
can tap
addition?
at the same time.
What do you mean? What type of tapping?
The tapping like that alternatively.
Ah, okay.
Like this one, but on the legs alternatively. Yeah, that one is from EMDR. Crying is part of healing only sometimes. Most of the time is the manifestation of the symptom. So there's a whole way of working with it. And sometimes it's fresh, it's actually a discharge. But again, it's not something that we are learning in emotion aid. For anybody who's a therapist, if you do the beginning year of SE with a good supervision, you can work very successfully. It's a 3 years program, but the first year, I would say the first year is a must to anybody who's working with anybody, because there's developmental trauma and shock trauma. Trauma is behind everything. So that's like the basic really understanding about the body. And then the intermediate is the categories, and then the touch, and then the syndromes. We go much deeper into the material, but in the beginning year, you get all of the tools that you need. So it's very If I had a magic wand, that's what I would give for free for the whole country immediately.
So as you know, Gina, I took the first year, beginning 1 and 2, and it really gave me so much professionally as well as personally.
Who's speaking? Oh, Anat, yes.
Yes. And I incorporate it into my work as well as into my personal life. And I mean, it's really simple with some supervision, and it's really, it makes so much sense. And I loved how today you really incorporated all of it, and it made so much sense to me. All of it together, it was like a story. I loved it. It was like a beautiful summary of it and a repetition. And I really recommend that course. At least the first year, which is what I've done.
Yeah.
So thank you.
But I'm much more interested. I mean, it's not a PR campaign. Please do it if you want, and if you can, absolutely. But emotion aid should be all over the country. We do not want collective trauma to be in the body. We want to do preventive, is resiliency training. So this is the first thing right now, is to get this tool out. And
I send the emotion aid to all my clients. I always send them, all of them.
Yeah, and remember that if you go down on the web page, there are audios in 7 languages. Right now, I'm working with AI to turn them into videos, and each language has its own manuscripts. And you go down further in the page, there is one for children with puppet. Okay, so there's a lot of, in that one single page, there's a lot. And there is English with a Hebrew translation also in the video. Just be aware of that, okay? So when you're sending it out, let them know that there is all of that. It's all in it, but people don't look at it for some reason. They just do the video and that's it. They don't see that there are the audios. They don't see the puppets. Mamash chaval. They're very helpful. Give it to your school teachers. Give it to your doctors. Give it to the first responders. Give it to your soldiers, all the people in your life that are soldiers. Ask Muli, do you want to tell us a couple of things that you did in the army? You have 1 minute.
שלום וברכה. טוב, קודם כל תודה רבה לג'ינה על המפגש הזה. אני קצין נפגעים בצבא, יש פה גם עוד מישהי שנמצאת כאן במפגש הזה, שהיא נמצאת יחד איתי ביחידה, ואני חשפתי את הכלי הזה בפני כמה וכמה אנשים ביחידה. קצין נפגעים זה אנשים שהולכים למשפחות ומודיעים להם על חללים, ובתקופה הראשונה שאחרי המלחמה, אנשים ממש לקו או בתקפי חרדה או בטראומות כאלה ואחרות, גם אנשים שהיו ביחידה הרבה מאוד שנים, בגלל שהתקופה הראשונה שאחרי, של ההתחלה, הדחיפות של ההודעות הייתה מאוד מאוד צפופה, וגם אנשים שהיו הרבה שנים ביחידה לא היו רגילים להודעות בדחיפות כזאת, וזה היה משהו שמאוד מאוד קשה להעמיס אותו מבחינה רגשית ונפשית, ופתחתי את זה בפני אנשים ביחידה. יתרה מזאת, ג'נה מספרת שפגשתי אותה בדרום, במהלך המלחמה גם שירתתי בגבול עזה יחד עם חיילים וקצינים נוספים, ואנשים היו זקוקים, אנשים היו במצוקה, והבאתי להם את ה-Emotion Aid שג'ינה כאן פתחה. ה-Emotion Aid זה איזשהו כלי ראשוני שמאוד קל גם לאנשי חינוך, גם לילדים, גם לאנשים שהם לא אנשי טיפול, ללמוד מתוך הסרטון הזה איך לרפא את עצמם. זה כלי נהדר. אני רוצה לעשות חילוק בין ה-Emotion Aid, שזה עזרה ראשונה, לבין הקורס עצמו. הקורס עצמו שג'ינה מדברת עליו, שזה בעצם השנה הראשונה, זה 5 ימים ועוד 5 ימים. כלומר, זה 5 ימים החלק הראשון של SE, ו5 ימים המודולה השנייה, וזה ממש פותח עולם. אצלנו היום במרכז פנימה, כל מי שעובד עם טראומות, עם חרדות, עם פגיעות מיניות בטיפול, מבחינתי לעבוד בטיפול גוף נפש כמו SE, זה משהו מחויב. זה פשוט לא אותה עבודה אם זה נעשה עם SE או בלי SE, זה פשוט משהו אחר לגמרי. היתרונות של SE הם שניים. היתרון הראשון זה קודם כל אחוזי הצלחה מאוד מאוד גבוהים של ריפוי, לא 50%, לא 60%, לא 70%, אלא מעל זה. ודבר שני, זה טיפול קצר טווח. אנחנו מדברים על טיפולים שהם אורכים שבועות עד חודשים בודדים, זה הכל. זה לא יאומן. זאת אומרת, שאנחנו עכשיו מקבלים מטופלים CPTSD, אנשים עם נפגעות ונפגעי מין, אנשים שהם מוכי חרדה או טראומה בעקבות המלחמה, התהליך הזה הוא קודם כל נושא פירות באחוזים מאוד גבוהים, ודבר שני, הוא תהליך מאוד קצר. אז כל מי שעושה כאן בטיפול, הוא יכול להיות מכל מקום בארץ, כי הקורס הזה מועבר בזום, הוא פשוט קונה קסם, זה קסם, a miracle, זה איזשהו קסם שקורה בקליניקה. אתה לא מבין איך זה קורה, אתה פשוט לא מצליח להבין איך זה קורה, אבל זה קורה. אתה מגיע לך חייל מפורק, קצין, אישה שנפגעה, אדם שעבר טראומה של איבוד אדם קרוב, כל מיני דברים מאוד מאוד קשים, ובתהליך קצר פשוט קוראים קסמים בקליניקה. אז מי שרוצה לרכוש ערכת קסמים, ג'נה עושה את זה. ג'נה היא הקוסמת הגדולה, והיא באה ומכשירה קוסמים. אז מי שרוצה להצטרף לחבורת הקוסמים הזאת, מוזמן. אנחנו נשלח כמובן הכל במייל, את כל החומר שג'ינה דיברה עליו אנחנו נשלח במייל, אנחנו נשלח גם את הסרטון, נשלח כל מיני חומרים גם כתובים וגם בווידאו, ונשלח גם פרטים על הקורס. הקורס מוגבל ל-60 אנשים בלבד, אז גם בזום הזה נרשמו 400 ולזום יכלו להיכנס רק 100, אז גם בקורס, שלא יהיה מצב כמו הקורס הראשון שלנו, שנרשמו הרבה יותר ממה שהיה אפשר. אם אתם רוצים להיכנס לקורס, אז תקדימו להירשם בגלל שהוא מוגבל ל-60 אנשים בלבד. ג'ינה, תודה רבה על הלב הגדול שלך.
אוקיי.
היא כותבת לי שבוע שעבר, אולי נעביר איזשהו מפגש.
ג'נה, תודה, ותמיד נעים לשמוע אותה.
Yeah, it's nice to
מאוד
see you.
מקצועי.
You keep coming. It's wonderful to see you.
Yes, I have to see you every time.
Yeah, great.
You are in Israel today?
No, I was coming to Israel and El Al canceled the flight.
I see.
Yeah, no, I was going to be with you, and then my students said they wouldn't come to the location in the war, so it just didn't make sense to be doing Zoom the whole time in the hotel, so we didn't do that. Yeah. But I have to tell you, my students in the last two things, they said it was like a bubble. We lived in a bubble. What are we going to do without this bubble now? We're going to go back to the war without your bubble. It does something very special. Mamash, it's something very, very wonderful. Nomi, you were in my course, right? So you know what I'm talking about. I saw that you were smiling.
גם אני הייתי,
זה נפלא. אני
מדהים.
נהניתי מכל מילה שלך. לחזור על הדברים עוד ועוד, זה תענוג גדול. זה כל כך עוד משתמשת בזה כל הזמן.
They really didn't need that.
אפשר לשאול משהו?
מה השאלה?
מי שיותר יכול ללמוד בפרונטלי מאשר זום, יש דבר כזה?
יש מתי שאנחנו יכולים, אבל עכשיו, here's what we're doing.
המפגש הזה, הקורס שהולך להיות של 5 ימים, יום אחד מתוכו יהיה מפגש פרונטלי.
So let me just talk about it, even with Natal.
כל הפרטים יישלחו במייל. בתוך 5 ימים, יום אחד יהיה פרונטלי.
The ones through Muli, through Pnima, are in Jerusalem. The other one that we're running, and we're going to send you both of them, both of them is in Tel Aviv. So what we try to do is as much Zoom as possible, because when it's on Zoom, we can have more assistance because you practice and people are sitting helping you, which is amazing, truly amazing. And then we try to do at least 1 day in person so that you get to meet each other and we see each other and it's nice. And then Zoom becomes very easy again. It's happening that with the Zoom, it's much easier during the war, during COVID, all of that stuff. A full course on location It's not happening in Israel anymore because of the matzav. We cut the prices a lot. It's much easier to do it on Zoom and to have the assistance, okay? Yalla, I hope to see many of you. Bye. Thank you for being Amalia, תודה רבה מולי.
Thank you so much.
תודה רבה רבה, להתראות.
תודה רבה. Have a good night.
להתראות.
תודה רבה.
Bye.